Yo, so your question with this was, hey, I'm from Reddit. Was like, do I SWAT tank too much? Do I not SWAT tank enough? Am I making the right swaps? Do I need to get good? So I took a look at it, and like, long story short, I'm sorry to tell you this, is like, the main thing is you need to get good, but it's not like necessarily mechanics. It's just like using your abilities and taking less damage at the beginning of uh, fights, like in the setup for the fight. In general, on every take, you just take too much damage. And so I want to look at this. I'll also say, just at least in this game, Rom is like kind of your worst tank. And the reason for that is the ability cycling is just not very effective. Like we come out here, match their shield with ours, fine. Probably didn't need to use it yet. It's fine to use one early. But we can do more or less the same thing, just riding the payload and poking. And trying to maybe bounce a web off of this column here onto like a bunch of them. In general, you don't use your web very well. We see that guy. We could Nemesis and come hit him. You also don't use your Nemesis well. You want to use it to put unblockable damage on the people who can't get away from you. So like this Junkrat's way overextended. He can't block our damage. We can pop Nemesis and just punch him down. He used his conch to get a kill. We can kill him back, right? The other thing I notice is you focus the other, like you pay way too much attention to the other tank. Don't mind the shield, but like, why are we? You see what I mean? Like, now the fight's beginning, and we've used Nemesis to walk through this door and then block our way back to payload, and we're at half health. Right? We need to be walking through the Sigma shield. We want him to turn around. We always want to like surround Sigma or get on his other guys. So like a better version of this engagement is kind of two things. Come through here, force them out. Fine. They're all down there. It's really hard to walk through doorways on Junkrat. We're going to take a bunch of damage doing that. That's his whole shtick. So since we didn't pod Nemesis to chase him, we could rotate up here. And Nemesis this guy until he boos. And now all of a sudden, they're all in this thing, and we have them surrounded. It's over. We have the high ground. And we could look to web this guy so his shotgun doesn't work. Right? And we need to be looking for these short flanks and getting here. The way that we play this, we're just not putting out pressure at all. We're shooting shield a bunch of the time. We're taking cooldowns. We're trading cooldowns pretty poorly with the Sigma. But like, I really just want to kind of play this. We'll go a little fast motion. Like, look how little you make them move. Like, we're like 2 minutes in this game, and Sigma has not had to move from what is a really dumb position. And it's because you're not really cycling your cooldowns right to pressure about. Like, we could put a shield behind him and then sort of body block him and punch him. We usually want to Nemesis when he's using Suck, because then we just punch through it. So we want to shoot him until he uses Grasp and then start punching him, because he'll do that when he's a little lower health. But really, we want to be like imagine if you come around here, or when Junkrat was here earlier, like if you had forced him out and then pushed in this direction, right? The reason you're not getting much done is like our cooldowns are bad, so we don't pressure the Sig, and we just keep walking up this thing. They have a big shield. Their shield is more outtime than yours. They have an Ash to poke, right? If a Junkrat to spam down this thing, and so we just take damage, block, back off, take damage, block, back off, for like, then 2 minutes, right? And nothing you've done has made anyone have to, like, you forced out the Junkrat at the beginning, and after that, we haven't made anyone move, right? And that's like, at the most basic level, that's what making space is, right? Like, we're just taking a bunch of damage, but it's like low value. We're trying to force our way into positions where we're not going to get anything done doing that. And we're right back to trying the same thing over and over, yeah? And eventually we win this because we get ults. We blow like 3 ults to win the first corner. Again, like what you're looking for is to force as much as you can in wizard mode. And then wait for someone to do something stupid, like a Mora fades and you can see her. The Curie teleports and Suzu's and you can see her. The Junkrat lands somewhere and you can reach him, right? And that's when we pod Nemesis. We go around to avoid a bit of damage and we start punching. And punching and punching. And we made them back up. Right, we're just not playing this matchup very well. That shield, like, no reason to do this shield. You're not taking any damage. Much better, you know, you're not going to need your shield for a sec. They're in respawn, but much better to at least poke a bit and maybe shield, if you think. I'd be trying to catch this Mora in a web, personally, I think. A little late. We're fine. Again, like, we're just kind of like... Our team is doing flanks, and that's why we're winning, but we're just really not threatening to kill anybody right now, so there's just no pressure, you're just kind of existing. Let me know if it's like confusing, but I think it shows it pretty well. I don't want to get too far into micro because we play so many characters in this game. But what I do want to say is, like, that's the thing with, I'll like turn it down a little. That's the thing with, switching. It's like, especially at this rank, it's way too focused on the tank matchup. When the actual problem is just that you're focusing the tank who you can't kill, or when you can't kill them. And so you're just not putting out pressure. And then also, because you switch so much, you don't know the matchups. And sometimes we have to be stuck on a hero. We're close to ult. We're on defense and we win a fight, right? And then they go counter swap. We need to know how to play into these tanks. Into bad matchups. And I don't think any of your matchups are particularly terrible. Like, D.Va and Zarya at the end, but it's also 100% how you play it. Right? There we go. That's what you need to do. If you were like a little more careful about that and how you take damage. Punch, block, lunge, block. Play this cover more when you see the cast. Punch him, block. Oh. I love this. But then we're like wide peeking this corner, right? We can punch her from here. And block. You just take like a crap load of damage from this cast you didn't know was there. And we don't block towards him, so we die. I'm like, yeah, you lose this to alt. But that's the right idea. That was actually like killing something. These guys are here. Why are you spending all this time aiming the shield? All they're doing is shooting at you. I just try to hit a web on them. Maybe poke them out, but we also have ult, so really we want to get into place. And probably go this way, to be honest. And why is that? Because this way's really long. Well, this way is cover. I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. But this way you come out on high ground. It's kind of a short angle. Over here, we can flip the map on him and take this cover. Well, really, we're looking right now for the best time to use our ult, right? What is that? That's going to be when they can't stop us. So the biggest things are like a little flashbang, a little fade, a little web, but mainly Suzu. So if we see either Mora teleport or Cass roll or Kiri Suzu, and especially teleport in Suzu, like that's our go. That's our go. That's we go Nemesis and we try to kill someone in that, and then we pop our ult to get the armor back. Right? And we're just trading damage with the dude who we can't kill. I don't think you saw anything to have a reason to use that ult. So, like, I don't think you play Ramattra very well, honestly, or at least into these matchups, or on this map. Switching ball for the touch, I like. I'm a Masters ball player. That's one of my most played tanks, ball and diva. I think I made a post about it. This is good. It's not like incredible, like you're not good at grapples, but setting up around behind him is really good. And you win this because you're not focusing tank on ball as much. Like the roll through slam. Great. I probably would have like done it a bit higher to get like a better scope on where to land. I probably would have landed like up here. But the idea, like roll flows through slam shields, great. I like the rolling around, pressuring point. We need to be looking for healers on ball, or this cast because he's low. We could have shot probably earlier and killed the cast. I don't mind this. We probably could have done a higher grapple and then I'll just land, or just jumped off of the stairs and slammed. We're fine. We share our shields. I mean, we don't, but important to do. And now, you could have won this point. It kills me. We need to be thinking about winning the point, right? So we need to get mines. We need to minimize the damage we take. We need to, we killed the Ramattra. Awesome. But we've used our shields. We need to look and see if like the rest of our team is going in, fine. We can like full send it down main. And try to clean up, but they're not, and we need to be on point. Like our team needs to be on point. You want to be setting up for the fight that's going to happen here, right? Now ball we set up on the sides, so we wanted to like maybe retract our way up here. maybe go back or track our way up here and kind of scope out how we're going to do this. Like, are you going main there? You take like, right? What is that? Like 400 damage. No shields. That's kind of the right idea, but like, we're just going right in front of their team. We want them to chase us somewhere other than into our team. And that's what creates space, right? Probably the better thing to do would be to just like hang out, wait for the cart and our team to get close enough to be able to shoot them. And then some sort of either scoop and boop with a high grapple, scoop slam, or we could just have a long enough grapple and spin to win on this thing, right? Or we could jump off this. Probably this is what I would have done. Jump off this for this free slam, and then some sort of spin to win on this or this guy, or this, and go one of those back and forth. Here you're just kind of like main. You take a bunch of damage, hit the trap because you're main, and then we're trying to like roll this way, right? Nobody has to move or anything. You just take a bunch of damage, and yeah, it's like a mechanics thing. But it's also the goal. If we do end up here, in a situation, high grapple, boop them back, slam. You need these guys to turn around so they can't hold the corner as easily, and then we're here and shooting. We get our shields, right? We had our shields and we died with them. And really, we're playing for mines, right? We should be poking and getting big slams, but living until we have mines, and then we can mine kind of high up here, this area, or the cart is still stuck here, this area, and that would win the fight. You were really at like mine's distance, though they had a lot of ults, so maybe couldn't have pulled it off, but you need to be trying something, right? So then I think we swap again, right? Orisa, yeah. Orisa, your biggest problem is you don't play in cover and you take a crap load of damage. I don't want to get like too into mechanics. I could point out a million micro mistakes like on each of these heroes, but the biggest problem is just taking damage and taking damage before the teams are actually going to fight. I think it would help you to maybe look at some replays and just be like, when is the fight actually going to happen? Like, when does it matter? Because you take a lot of damage when it doesn't matter. I have no problem with poking, but why are we doing it in the open here? And using our cooldown like at full health, right? Why can't you do that shooting from here? Or if you really want to hold it here, maybe you see that your sense up here, from here. Like here, we're just wide peeking. It's a Junkrat. It's the same problem. We go into them and use our gold. That's fine, but we need to be thinking. If we use our gold, we need to be thinking like, oh, when this runs out, where can I be? We're not gonna get killed. Right? Look. We pop our gold. Maybe we see the ante. We hit a javelin. 3 seconds left on the gold. We need to be backing the hell off into here. Or just into the payload. You take a crap load of damage, but like you put yourself in a spot where you're like in this corridor stuck between the wall and a payload, so it's the easiest knife in the universe to hit, right? And the characters they're playing, especially Cassidy and Junkrat and Queen, to be honest with you, they can just blow you up like that, right? You need to be like responsible for. You need to take damage responsibly. Like put out pressure if you're gonna take damage. And still, like, this is kind of fine. We push him back. We look at the junk. That's fine. We need to be aware of our health and back off till at least we get armor. I'm not sure if you mean the Winston as a counter pick here. He goes in like this. See how these guys come up to support him? He uses bubble there. He can't pressure you. He can't kill you really with his damage. These guys can. So just spam them. Good javelin. We see our teams backed off. A little over leveraged here. I will say your team is a little not great into the Winston. But they're like, I guess you saw that he was low, but he's the most likely person to get heals. What if we had gone into their backline here and done this ult? Right? He's just finishing the kills. This team is the one who's gonna, who's actually like doing the damage. We get this. I'm glad you pick up the carry there. Again, like, we're about to... Like, the Winston's about to go in, right? And he's going in too early. His team's, like, all the way in the back. But we're, like, wide peeking this Cass. And we're not, like, aiming well enough, honestly. Because we're shooting the Winston. We could totally poke out that Cass, but we need to be doing that, like, here. We'll kill the Cass right in front of you. Here, fine. We just hold this corner. We're up one. We need our health back. So, like, you're letting the Winston tank. You're here. You gotta kill. Right? His problem and needs to be making you move because he cannot do damage to you. The only thing he can do is drop a bubble on you to cut off your heals, right? And his team also are going to have a lot of trouble forcing you out, especially if you hit your javelins on this Cass. Orisa is pretty good in the Cass. She used to be even better. It's part of why he's so strong right now. So he goes forward there. You're looking at these guys. Your Sim's going in, right? Whenever like a dive tank goes in, you want to look for the people coming behind to shoot what he's shooting. This guy goes in with his bubble. He's a dumbass. So all we have to do is separate him and trust our team to kill him. I think he's going to primal here. But like, look how much space and you give up and damage you take by just turning your back like this. Right? Now they have the cart. And we really could have just like pushed all these guys back into our sim. And like, I think when people reviewed my games, and I was a bit lower ranked, I was like, how do I possibly like make this read and process this stuff? And it's like, it's pretty simple, honestly, which is like, is it productive for me to shoot the tank, or is it more valuable for me to just be on cart and he can't move me? Like, I want to be shooting DPS. Cass is pretty immobile. I can javelin him. The easiest person to javelin. I can block all his shots. I can headshot him. I can go gold and headshot him and out DPS him. Um, it's just like getting your priorities in line that you need to do. And the funny thing is, like, you still win this fight. But it's like, it wins, like, if you primaled, I think you guys probably will lose there. And it was expensive to use some ults. Now they have Cass. Like, why aren't we just doing that from here? And taking way less damage. Or sorry, now they have Bastion. Right, we're wide peeking. We're not going to fight right now. Now we're wide peeking into a shield. Look at my, he lost 400 health. And now their team is in position to walk on you, right? Wouldn't be saving our health and then, like, be a problem for them. Your health is, like, a big resource on tank. Now we wide peek into a Bastion in turret mode. We do this thing while Bastion still has turret mode. He can blow us up. Around here, I was wondering if you're going to win. Yes, just Javelin is Cass. Fine. Yeah, most of our guys died. We probably wanted to get in that telly. Now we got a Zen Mercy. That's something important to pay attention to, you know, when we're talking about SWATs. To pay attention to your supports and what they're on. I think the D.Va is a pretty good swap here, not because of the Winston, but because of the Bastion Cass. D.Va is really strong to both of them. You can just try and kind of bait out the turret mode and matrix it. You can matrix Cass's damage, and then when Bastion doesn't have turret mode, you can put yourself in a position to just go on him, and you really, really kill the shit out of him. But you do have to clock that you have Zen Mercy, and you're not going to have a lot of healing. We try to protect Res here. Fine. And here, this stands out about your D.Va. So we're playing Zen Mercy. It's not a lot of burst healing. We probably need to be thinking about health packs. The Mega down there. The Mini here. The Mini over here. Right? And we need, above all, to not take a crap load of damage. Really at all, but especially like when we don't need to. So like you do no damage at this range. And I just want you to do more damage than you take. Right, we're at 300 health. We're not about to fight yet. Like, or we are about to fight. We're at 300 health and we haven't fought yet. We're just poking. And now Zen and Mercy are both healing you. They're not going to heal your DPS. And you're just going to be at low health like this whole fight, right? Which is, now is where we want to be able to do things. Yeah. So, like, I don't get our goal with this stuff. We want to stop the payload, right? They're all coming main. We're actually kind of hard to force out. I think we just boost here. Get ready to contest payload. If Winston wants to come pay attention to us, that's fine. If he dives too early, we go after him. Or we just like pop out here, kill Cass or Bastion. Or just contest the cart through here. Right? Nobody can really blow you up through Matrix as long as you like play around them. You know, Cass might try to fan the hammer, roll fan the hammer. Bastion might go wheels. Fine, we just go back. We come out. They chase us on here. Fine, we boost. Like over here or over here. Right, this game was super winnable right here. And D.Va's like a fine pick. It's a low healing. I'd probably be on... I'm not sure. I probably would have just Stayed Orisa or something. Gone Sig maybe. You can play Sig. But okay. So that happens. Okay. If we're good about this, we get 2 fights. This one's gonna be tough. So we need to be looking, where's everyone set up, and then kind of where is this sort of off angle? Like, can I tuck myself in here and contest? Again, Diva, you can contest the objective, but you need to be able to do that with some cover. And what we're kind of doing here is just waiting and poking at range. Shooting shield, like, we've taken more damage than we've done. Like, maybe we've done about equivalent damage to Winston, but we need to be closing this distance. We're going to have to wait for our heals. Our guy has spotted us and gone Mora to give us more healing. But we're like... giving up all this space, right? And we really want the payload stuck, like, on this kind of ramp thing. Because then that gives us access to, like, you know, if we win a fight, we can come here and drop behind them. Right? This is the best payload position for Diva. And, like, they have a cast, but you can matrix this damage. We probably should have just closed the distance and stayed payload and just kind of, like, line aside their DPS and just shot the Winston. We're kind of playing like an Orisa on Diva. But it's also kind of fine, like... Right? They're on a bunch of stuff that can't really force you out. And we have this bomb. Cool. Now we have the payload up here, so what do we do with it? We probably want to be here peeking. We're not trying to do damage, we're just trying to see where they're going. And maybe flash our matrix to avoid some damage. It's kind of a weird boost, but I guess you're trying to force them more out, that's fine. We could have just like gone over here and kept shooting Nomura. She just faded in front of us. Should be a free kill. The bomb is fine. I don't think it would work at this level. Usually, especially if I have just like a minute left. Like it's crazy to me that they didn't CZ that. Right. But at this rank, it works. Personally, I would be just holding on to the bomb and be making it hard for them to rotate. We see the Zarya too. The Zarya used her bubble and we killed her supports. I would really be trying to kill her right now, or at least force her to use yet another bubble, just trying to force me out here and then just fly away. The thing with Zarya, people go Zarya because they want to shoot you. So how do you deal with that? You let them think they can kill you and then go away, go do something else where they can't shoot you. And then they're spending all their time chasing you, and your team cleans them up. And also, you catch her without bubbles and a little low on health. You do way more damage than she does if you have your micro missiles and you hit headshots. Even if she has like kind of full charge. Anyway, the reason I say we try for the kill on Zarya is just we really don't want to let her escape with high energy. We want her to start every fight. Very important to clean up. I don't think you could have done it. I don't have like the hugest problem with not chasing it. We're matrixing our guys a little too much. We want to make sure that we have about half our matrix for when a fight's actually going to start. This is kind of fine, but we could have matrixed that. I wouldn't have saved her from Nazario, but could have saved her from other stuff. I'm glad you go for the other things. But here, again, we're just kind of sitting main. And we're just in Nazaria's line of sight the whole time, and we're not making these guys back off. We're letting the supports take a position where they can get her. I have no problem like contesting the cart. I'd be playing a little ring around the Rosie, maybe shooting her. But you gotta be avoiding the rest of the damage from whoever you're shooting. You're kind of like fighting 4 people at once, and they're just all nailing you, and we're just low health. Like, versus Zarya, we probably needed to take this fight earlier and have some sort of a way to get away from her to this high ground, or wait for them to go low forward and be back here, and then boost around. We'll be here, and then she chases us, and we drop down, and that opens up space for a sim, right? Or like the rest of our team was kind of over here. If they weren't, we could be over here. Right? We're just kind of walking into a bunch of damage. No way to back off. And not really nobody's doing anything they wouldn't already want to do. Right? In this situation, assuming I got to this point, much better to maybe try and go kill Cass over here, be on the other side from Nazar, so she has to chase you. Maybe even go over here, Matrix, try to get these guys looking back. We just don't get anything for damage. Like, and you're on defense, right? You couldn't have swapped, I don't think. Or I don't think it was the right play to swap. But you needed to be proactive about, like, what do you want on Diva from this fight? In this setup. We're on Diva. They're on Zarya. Fine. I'll just shoot her. Let's see if I can force out her bubbles. Let's see where she goes. She's going up that way, right? Okay. Can I go on one of these guys? Kind of land over here, right? Start shooting this guy. Make these guys turn. Make her think twice about walking. We hear the ult and we're like looking for it, I think, around now. But the main thing is like we just give them, and in time we turned her back, like they made this long ass rotation. Your Moira's poking them because she thinks that you're gonna be there, right? We'll just like give them the cart and give them the corner for free, like the place Zarya wants to fight. So we either needed to kind of proactively be somewhere down here for a bit and then boost back up. Use our high ground advantage. So she's like, shit, like I really need to get a point, but I really need to deal with this Diva. We just boost back up here and we're here already. Or we could have set up like on a payload somewhere around here ish, and we're right in front of the Zarya, but we can go over here. We can go up there. We can get away from her and still have pressure on this area here. Right? And we just kind of like let a whole ass rotation happen for free. So anyway, and then again, we're just playing like just kind of face tanking everything. No reason to boost there even. Try to come over here even or something. Try to open up this angle so that they have a reason to not just look forward the whole time and beam whoever's in front of them with all of their like frontal damage, right? Walk over this way and then boost back to the corner maybe if you're gonna do that, right? And you're just dumping as much heals as they possibly can into you, but there's no hope, right? So anyway, I think that's kind of more what's going on. I'd recommend, excuse me, I'd recommend like trying to simplify things for yourself a bit and just to like play fewer tanks and try to really understand how they work, even into bad matchups. Usually, like I swap, it's like maybe about 40% of the time on Diva, 40% on Wrecking Ball, like 10 to 15% on Melga for like brawl points. And then I'll play a few that I used to play in the past, like really situationally, like this team's really diveable, but they also have a bunch of abilities that I can't block with Matrix, or can't evade with Wrecking Ball, so I need a Winston Bubble, let's say. But like the big factors in that are like I have picks for different parts of the map. And then also it's a little like on the dumbest possible level, like what I want to be doing. And what I'm clear about is what I want to be doing. Like on Wrecking Ball, I want to be shooting supports mostly, or killing snipers. Really great at counter sniper. Or I want to. We need pressure on the flank. We need attention from somewhere other than like main. So I need a character who can sustain himself and like get into those positions, to make people like not as easily just spam down main. Or it's like I just don't have a Zen Mercy. I don't have a lot of heals. Diva, it's more like if I have like a bit more heals available, but it's also really just to shoot DPS. They switch casts in Sombra or Bastion or Reaper or something like that. And I can just like go on those things, right? Malga, it's like mainly because of brawl points. It used to be Orisa, but it's also like dumbest possible level to shoot the tank, right? But I feel like what you're kind of doing is hyper focusing on like frontlining and kind of having this sort of Godzilla fight with the tank. And like, I need to be on the objective at all times. And you need to be like much more focused on like the map and pressure and like who can I damage right now that it'll make them move or kill them, right? And there's kind of like there's people who it's good to shoot in a neutral game, right? Cassidy, any support, Bastion, and then there's also like target swats. If you see something, Mora fade, she's gonna orb herself. I can boost to where she faded. I can eat her orb and just like missile her, right? Kiri is low health. She's gonna Suzu. I can eat the Suzu, and kill her. Or I see her fade. I know where she faded to. I can go on her and kill her, right? Sorry, I walked too far forward and used both bubbles. Now I can kill her, right? So there's also a bit of target swats, but it's really about like understanding, um, is this person in a stupid position and I can go get them, right? Are they all grouped up and they're all just shooting like forward? Okay, we need to make them not shoot forward. We need to give them a reason to look away from the rest of my team, right? So it's just like thinking through that. I hope I'm explaining it well. It's a little tough to get your head around, but if you start thinking about it, like you'll start to see those opportunities. I think A10 is a really good like educational streamer to watch about that concept too. In terms of just like sometimes playing as Zarya, we just need to be patient. We need to be like, okay, you want to beam me? Sure, go ahead and try. Like, I'll let you think you can, and then I'll be doing something else, and then I'll come back on you when you think you don't have to worry about me, and I'll kill you, right? Diva versus Zarya is much more of a skill matchup, but it's much more map dependent. And the reason you lose this is you fight on this corner that's really good for Zarya, and you fight right in front of Zarya, which is really good for her, right? And you don't pressure anything else. Whereas here, when the payload was here, now we have this high ground. We have that high ground. We have like a flank. We have another flank that we can fly to, right? We have all these opportunities. And even when it got around, if we played maybe this area or something like that, and been like, you actually need to walk away from the payload right now, that would have been good for us because they're the ones that need to stay on the payload. You just need to touch it before it gets to the box, right? So use that pressure to do something. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that helps. I think the problem I'm seeing in this is mostly just like we don't create pressure and just shoot the tank too much. Who we're not going to kill because they have cooldowns. They have bubble. They have suck. They have shield. Right. So swapping it can make that cooldown trade more favorable. But if you're like maybe not that great at the character because you play so many characters, like you're not getting that value. And it's also like especially if they're like decent even at the character, like they know how to play around that. They know generally what you're looking to do. So yeah, I hope that helps. And let me know if you have questions.